This your boy Town Biz. Now y'all know I don't usually do lives in between lunch breaks and all that stuff. Usually I'll be trying to take a little cat nap. But, I decided it was real important that I do this, quick stream. I'm gonna try to go for at least 10 to 15 minutes. But I always knew Charles Barkley was ignorant, and I don't like to use that word ignorant, but when it pertains to him, that's one of the words you could use pertaining to Charles Barkley, besides the fact that he's just incredibly, stupid. And he says stupid stuff all the time. But this time, Charles Barkley has crossed the line to the point to where he just further proves what a watermelon man in a handkerchief head and a cone that he really is, for basically instigating and possibly inciting violence within the black community over people's political choice. With that being said, I'm going to say this again. You can vote for whoever the hell you want to vote for. But this is why a lot of times people are finding themselves crossing over and leaving the Democratic Party, or should I say the Demodummies. Now, you guys know I don't talk politics, but Charles Barkley, a few days ago on his show with Gayle King, he basically said that if he sees anybody wearing Trump apparel, based off the comments that Donald Trump made about, black people can relate to him basically because of, being, on mug shots and all that stuff. I can't quote verbatim what he said, but it's some similar to that. So Charles Barkley says that if he sees anybody wearing Trump apparel pretty much, or Trump mugshot shirts, he's going to lay hands on him. Now, first of all, Charles Barkley is a 61-year-old man with like bad legs, and he is incredibly big. But for him to sit up there and say something so irresponsible on CNN, that just says a lot about him. But he specifically said black people. Now, if he would have said probably anybody as a whole, I recommend they would have got at him by now and forced him to issue an apology. But because it's black people, and then a lot of people perceive black people as just being these violent savages that's just unreprehensible and uncontrollable, people don't have a problem. But I promise you, if he said that as a whole, where anybody was going to get hands put on them, whether they was black, white, or whatever, I guarantee you people would be outraged. They'll be calling for his job and all this stuff. And Charles Barkley need to issue a public apology to the black community. And he needs to, he needs to take back what he said, because that was just stupid. At the end of the day, I'll say it again. You can vote for whoever the hell you want to vote for. And Charles Barkley don't give a damn about the black community to begin with. What does he do for the black community except talk bad about the black community? This is a dude that went in on Kyrie Irving for just tweeting. But then he defended Drew Brees to the fullest and saying people was being too hard on him when Drew Brees made something that was deemed racist. Now, Drew Brees did apologize immediately, but at the end of the day, the way Charles Barkley just got at the black community, just like what Stephen A. Smith does. They love wagging their finger at the black community, but then when it come time to go in on these non-blacks or these white boys, then they kind of try to walk it back and they tread water lightly. Charles Barkley sitting up there saying, well, he glad his daughter is married to a white man and all that stuff. Well, Charles, we seen the bitch. We glad she married to a white man too. We ain't gonna miss her. Okay? We seen her, Charles. We seen your daughter. Trust me, the black community is not hurt. Trust me, we'll be fine. But for him to just sit up there and say that, and Charles Barkley is in Atlanta too. Like, is you nuts to say something like that? And you live in Atlanta? And everybody knows Georgia is a clear open carry state. Everybody got damn guns out there. So not only is you putting a target is I mean, come on, man. Not only is you putting a target on your back, you putting a target on anybody else's back who may be a Trump supporter. Listen, like I said before, I don't give a damn who you vote for. But you have the right to vote for whoever you want to vote for if you don't want to vote at all. But to sit up there and just say something stupid like that, Charles Barkley should lose every endorsement that he has. And that's just real talk. He should, when I say he should lose every endorsement that he has, he should lose every endorsement, and he need to be fired unless he retracts what he said and issues a public apology. That's the last thing we need, is to see a group of black people fighting over whether you gonna vote for Trump or Joe Biden. We got enough issues going on in our community, and you got this nigga Charles Barkley saying that stupid stuff. I promise you, if he had said, "Oh, if I see anybody wearing Trump apparel or wearing a Trump mugshot shirt, I'm gonna lay hands on them," oh, I guarantee you, all hell would have broke loose. You would have heard every news outlet and they mama talking about how could Charles Barkley say something so careless and reckless and all this kind of stuff, and he needs to be reprimanded. Well, here's the thing. Charles Barkley got a shitload of endorsements, and I'm going to call Nike. I'm going to call CNN, TBS, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, they all in the same building. Because I've been to Atlanta. I know CNN is around, the CNN building is around the corner from the State Farm Arena. Right, Aubrey? So I've been to Atlanta before. I know the CNN building is right around the corner. I'm talking about, it's literally walking distance. Actually, it's like next door. If you just walk on the other side of the building, it's right over there by the State Farm Arena. So like I said before, we need to get on Charles Barkley's helmet. He need to issue an apology immediately. You don't sit up there and say no stuff like that. And then, first of all, you sitting up here inciting violence. And you sitting up here saying you going to put hand. And first of all, Charles Barkley, like I said, is 61 years old. And he got 2 bad legs. And he fat as hell. Yeah, see, my man Aubrey, he know, like I said, the CNN building is right around the corner from the State Farm Arena. And then on the other side is Mercedes-Benz Stadium. All those places is within walking distance. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is right across the street on the other side of the State Farm Arena. I'm talking about, it's literally walking distance. But yeah, Charles Barkley, he just always say stupid stuff, man. He just find a way to say something stupid and humiliate himself and humiliate us, even though we try to distance ourselves from Charles Barkley. But for him to sit up there on CNN and publicly say if he sees anybody wearing Trump apparel, he gonna put hands on them. I highly recommend, Charles Barkley, that you don't do that. Not in Georgia. If I see anybody wearing Trump mugshot, I'm gonna put hands on them. Like, what? Dude, what are you talking about? Like I said, are you nuts? Are you nuts? Charles Barkley been in television and media for 20 years. He know better. He know he can't say nothing like that. And I don't want to hear nobody defended him, because if you try to defend Charles Barkley, you just as big a coon as he is. And that's just real talk. If you try to defend Charles Barkley's comments, you just a bigger handkerchief head Sambo as Charles Barkley. And there's no way to get around that. That's embarrassing to see somebody of Charles Barkley's stature talk like that and sound belligerent and ignorant. You would expect somebody like Kyle Kanai to say something like that. And I don't even think he would be dumb enough to say something like that. You would expect somebody in their 20s to say something like that. You would expect a moron like Soulja Boy or something to say something like that. But not a 61-year-old man. I mean, this Charles Barkley is 61 years old. It's no excuse for him to sit up there and say that on television where everybody can hear him. But like I said, they really ain't got on him like that because he specifically said black people. You know, when you specifically say something about black people, you get some leeway until we apply pressure. Well, we finna apply pressure because like I said, I'm calling Nike tomorrow. I'm finna find out every company Charles Barkley got an endorsement with. Because like I said, he need to walk back those statements and he need to retract them. He need to walk them back and he need to publicly apologize. I mean, come on, man. I mean, like I said, I would expect this from somebody young to say something stupid like that. You'll ignore him. You would say, okay, you know, he young, he don't know no better. But you 61, you know better. You've been retired from the NBA for over 20 years. You in the Hall of Fame. So now what could possibly happen? Somebody just on GP will go grab some Trump apparel and walk down the street just to see if somebody gonna say something looking for action. And then no telling what could jump off. And all because of Charles Barkley. Yeah. I just was, when I heard him say that, I was just like, take it back. I was like, when I first heard him say that, I just went and looked, and then I was like, I know he didn't say that. And then I heard him say, I said, is this nigga out of his mind? Dude, are you out of your mind? Like, dude, you too old to be doing something like this. Dude, you in your 60s, dude. And it's funny how we got on Michael Jordan for keeping his mouth shut and not saying nothing about anything, but shit, maybe Michael Jordan was smarter than a lot of us was. If people start fighting each other and hurting each other over this Trump stuff, in particularly black people, it's on Charles Barkley. And then CNN should take that footage off YouTube. They shouldn't even make it available to where people could even view it, because they can be held accountable as well. Charles Barkley need to issue a public apology, and CNN need to take that footage. They need to take that footage off YouTube. That was just dumb what he said. Just dumb. I don't want to hear him talking about, oh, I should know. You need to apologize to the black community and you need to retract that statement. I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, I should, nah. You're not getting away with that, dude. Charles Barkley should lose every endorsement that he have. He should be fired. Nike should cut ties with him. All the companies that he got endorsements with should cut ties with him. And I ain't for black men losing money. But this particular case, when you sitting up here inciting violence and threatening your own race, you know how stupid you sound? And then at your age, what can you really do to somebody? So I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just keeping it a buck. Charles Barkley is a moron. It's embarrassing to see that this dude on TV, he been saying stupid stuff for years. and he gets away with it. But like I said, he just like Stephen A. Smith. He just like Jason Whitlock. He just like a lot of these bootlicks. Only got smoke for the brothers, but then they overlook the others. Went hard in paint on Kyrie Irving for just tweeting about watching the damn movie. But he defended Drew Brees to the T. So there you have it. But man, anyway, I got to get back to work. Somebody need to pray for Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia is really, I don't even think this is an act anymore. I really think he's losing his damn mind. But anyway, you guys, appreciate you guys. I'm out.